Hello there. How are you doing? How are you feeling? Welcome back to the Saiyonan archives. I'm excited to have you here. I'm excited to be doing a reading with you. Thank you so much for coming back, and I hope that you get everything you need here. I just wanted to point out that I do have a little bit of a situation going on with my AC, so I actually had a window AC installed here in the office. I may or may not have to turn it on depending on how hot it gets. The weather has been a little it's been it's been pretty hot recently here in Virginia. So, I wanted to give that quick disclaimer because I may have to turn that on in order to cool this space down. Anyway, so how are you doing and how are you feeling? Let me know down in the comments what's been going on with you. We're actually going to be doing a pick a deck reading, as you can see. I, for whatever reason, felt the need to use our our Midnight Magic mushroom deck. And that's what we're going to be using right now. And I also have another mushroom oracle deck here, actually, as you can see. Look at that. Amazing, right? I have not seen these cards yet. This is the mushroom deck that we're going to be using as far as the oracle deck goes, and I've also got some more cards underneath there. I also took some notes here on my phone that I'm going to be sharing with you for whatever pile that you choose, and we're going to go ahead and go from there. So I want to set the intention that you feel loved, warm, protected, honored, revered, and that you feel safe in this space. I set the intention that you receive everything that you need and that you discard what you do not need. I set the intention that your guides speak to you through me, through whatever, just give you whatever messages that you do need. Thank you so much for keeping your heart open. Thank you so much for just allowing yourself to immerse in your magic and immerse in whatever messages that you need to hear. And I open my space to you. I open my love to you. And I'm super excited to have you here. Let's go ahead and get into some magic. I'm going to go ahead and take a moment to pause. And I'm going to allow you to choose whatever calls out to you. As you could tell, we do have some copal here. If you guys don't know, this is copal that I was called to use for pile number 1. And I also have here some Palo Santo for pile number 2. This is your Palo Santo that I was called to use if you chose pile number 2. And pile number 3, this is what I decided to use, well, what I was drawn to use actually for you guys. This is a mini sage bundle, and that's exactly what Spirit wanted me to get or wanted me to grab for your pile. I'm going to go ahead and stop talking to allow you to choose your pile right now. Okay, so if you chose pile number 1, which is the copal, this is your reading. Let's go ahead and see what is going on here. I'm going to go ahead and get started with your reading, and let's just see kind of what comes through. So I'm going to actually let you know what came through with your pile. I did not have time to write this down, and also I'm in a different, well, not in a different space, but I had to change the office around because I had to put the AC unit in the window, and that's essentially, or originally, where I had the altar, the table. However, because the AC's there, I had to turn it around. So that is one thing. And because of that, it's blocking off my books. I actually have to kind of do a little bit of work to get the books. I didn't have time to do that. At least I didn't feel like it. And so I just kind of wrote things or typed things out in my phone. So this is our pick a deck downloads for pile number 1. You had plant medicine, ayahuasca, and retreat. I don't know if you guys can really see that. Probably not. I'm not even going to try. But yes, you have plant medicine, ayahuasca, and retreat. That is what I have typed out here. It's really interesting that came through because it just came through like lightning. It was so wild. Like I said, the first thing I heard was plant medicine. And then the second thing was ayahuasca. And then it was retreat. So this is letting me know that for whatever you may be going through in your life right now, you really may want to connect to your ancestors. And this is one of those moments where you really want to create a space where you can release, but you want to do it under someone who is not I just heard someone who's like ordained, but also someone who has been working with these plants for a while now. And for whatever reason, there's some type of wisdom that the plants want to give to you for whatever situation that you may be in right now. And also your ancestors are asking for you to connect with them using very specific herbs and very specific oils and like very specific plants. One of the plants that I'm hearing is yarrow. Like I just heard the word yarrow, and that is an American plant. Actually, what I'm hearing is that they're wanting you to connect here to the Americas. They're wanting you to connect with the plant medicine that is here in the Americas. And one of the words that I'm hearing right now is Ecuador. And you may have ties or roots to either Ecuador, or you may have ties or roots to the Amazon. There's something I also just heard like South America is like where they want you to go. Yeah, so you are wanting to connect with your South American ancestors and your Central American ancestors as well as your North American. But there's something about, like, I keep hearing like an ayahuasca retreat, because there's some type of wisdom that they want to give you through plants. The only way you're going to receive this wisdom is through taking plants. I'm also seeing like the frog venom. I am not promoting the use of any type of illegal drugs. Take this as entertainment purposes only. If you are a U.S. citizen, you do not want to engage in anything that is illegal according to their statutes and codes and their laws. You do not want to get yourself into anything. For those of you that are constitutionally protected, who are protected by law, who are not citizens at all, but who are sovereign beings and who stand on your own without the United States corporation, then I am assuming, or well, I don't want to assume anything, then I trust that you have your affairs together and in order, and that you have a religious assembly that protects you as you are moving towards taking any type of plant medicine that the United States corporation would deem as illegal. For those of you guys that are familiar with the language that I'm using, then you know. For those of you that are not, I cannot say too much on here, and I won't go into too much detail because of the nature of that. That does not fit what I'm here to do or what I'm here to share with you. However, if you caught what I was saying, then good. And if you did not, then you may want to look more into that, where you are, and that's a message all in itself. It's like you want to be in a space where you are protected, where you can engage in these type of spiritual experiences so that you can ascend, so that you can release, so that you can receive and gain wisdom, because it's going to help you along your journey. It's going to help you when it comes to your mission, if that makes sense. So that's what I'm hearing with that. Let's go ahead and move this to the side though really quickly here so we can focus our attention on doing the actual reading. So I'm wondering what kind of messages is coming through for you for choosing pile number 1, or for choosing the Bob. I want to say that I relate to you as far as the Copal is concerned. My ancestors just are like, I want you to use Copal. Like, just use Copal when you connect with me. And so I honor it. I'm hearing, stop using logic for right now. It's not to say that logic is not important, but it is to say that you are someone that more than likely will, your default is logic, and then when you do that, you suppress your divine feminine. If this does not resonate with you, then this could be somebody around you where they're constantly using logic, but then by them doing that, they are not honoring their divine feminine when they do that. I just heard like mystical and like spiritual experiences. This is someone leveling up in their spirituality. This is someone who is, they're learning. Like, they're learning. Like, okay, these are the cards that want to show face to you right now. And we're not going to pull as many cards, but these are the cards that are showing up. You have the Magician, you have the Knight of Pentacles. I feel like the reason why they're telling you that they want you to take plant medicine right now is because they are wanting you to understand that the reason, I just heard, is because you suffer, that you are having a really hard time receiving anything. And it's because you feel, it's because you're in a space where you're not able to receive anything right now because of what is happening in your environment. But the interesting thing is that your environment is directly reflecting what you have going on within you, right? Also, I want to tell you what this is. It's little birds of the woods. That's the mushrooms that are here, little birds of the woods. And then we also have wood bluet, I believe, and nine of pentacles. So it's interesting that the color scheme of these two mushroom cards, first and foremost, we do have here the purple. That's the things that's standing out to be the most. And then you have like this goldish color here. And then you have like some, I don't know, like some type of yellow, brown, gold color down here. And it's so interesting to see this because I do feel like whatever experience you're meant to have when you engage in these type of sacred practices, it almost kind of feels like you're going to receive some type of answer to life that is going to help you in your life as it is now. But there's something about like the root of your suffering is the reason why you're not able to manifest, and it's what's causing the blockage. Think of it as like the suffering is like a buildup, or like it kind of creates these like brick walls that are hard to penetrate. So nothing can get in it and nothing can get out. And that's exactly what they're saying. The fact that you do have the Magician here with the Nine of Pentacles, this to me means that someone is trying, I'm going to bring this down a little bit. The fact that you do have these two here, first and foremost, it almost kind of makes me feel like someone is trying to bring something in. Someone may be trying to bring in like a resource or a trip or a retreat, which is interesting because actually that is exactly what I heard when I wrote that down or tapped it out in my phone. Someone could be trying to manifest for some kind of retreat, or they may be trying to manifest for sovereignty right now, or they may be trying to manifest to get their stuff back in order, but it's hard for them to do so because they may feel limited, they may feel stuck. We have the Two of Swords here, right? So we have the Two of Swords, we have the Five of Cups, exactly. We talked about suffering, exactly, disappointment. And then you also have the Page of Wands in reverse, and we also have the Fool card, exactly. So it's like someone here could potentially be feeling like they're not sure. It's so funny because when Spirit said to stop using logic right now, that's the reason why. It's one of those things where you want to stop and you want to just kind of tune into your inner world, and you want to really quiet yourself. Like you want to quiet your ego as best as you can and just surrender and just listen. Someone is trying to move forward and they're trying to go somewhere, but they're having a hard time because they're not sure really where they're going. It's like they're losing their way. And it almost kind of feels like because so much has happened, like I'm hearing like the word aneurysm. I don't know if you or someone that you know had an aneurysm, and if you did, I'm so sorry, and I really do hope that you're getting better and that you're healing and that you are healed. But I'm hearing like there's some type of like I'm also hearing like a brain injury that somebody may have had, and it kind of just changed the trajectory of their life. And it's like it kind of not prohibited them from manifesting, but it kind of made it harder because of that suffering. And this is so interesting because what I'm hearing is that it's the disappointment and the suffering that you felt that is really what's causing the blockage more than the injury did. I have never heard that before. I have never heard Spirit say that. I do not know why that came through, but I'm going to allow myself to just trust what Spirit said. For some of you, it's not necessarily the injury that you had. It's the grief, and it's the disappointment, and it's the hurt, and it's the pain. And it's the, like I said, the disappointment, the grieving is what's actually prohibiting it versus the actual thing that happened, if that makes sense, the actual injury or the actual trauma. And for whatever reason, it kind of makes you lose your sense of like self, but it also makes you in a way kind of lose yourself in life almost. The Page of Wands in reverse is what I'm feeling is that this was someone who was very excited about some kind of endeavor that they had going on, but then what ended up happening was life happened. Some things are going on. I'm hearing something about like the word psychosis, and I'm hearing the fact that there was something going on with like I just heard something about like magic, and I just heard I just heard voodoo. There was like some type of working, like this is one of those things where, okay, what I'm hearing is that this is one of those things where if you have any type of sickness or some type of dis-ease in the body, you may have tried to go to doctors and they were not able to heal you. It's because there's something about what they're doing that's creating more of a blockage. But if you were to say, I don't want this anymore, I'm actually going to go get this plant medicine, that's where you'll actually experience the healing. Because what will happen is you'll end up releasing whatever this Five of Cups energy is. And it's interesting because what I'm hearing is that this is what's going to help you clear. It's going to help you clear the mind. There's something about like pharmaceutical medicines that is also, it's plaguing your body, and it's plaguing you. Like there's something that you're, I just heard the word like foxglove. You want to take that in very minimal dosages. I am not a medical practitioner. I am not someone that heals the body through using, you know, pharmaceutical medicines and things like that. But I'm also not going to preach to anyone either. You always want to talk to your healthcare provider about what is best for you, and you want to consult spirit first and foremost, and you always want to keep yourself informed. But I'm not gonna, you know, just kind of not say anything either. Like, I'm just not gonna do it. I'm gonna follow my intuition, and my intuition says that holistic plant medicine is what is gonna help some people. Just take it as it resonates. I'm not going to tell you what to do. You have to make that decision for yourself, and I am not responsible for what anybody does. I am just here as a messenger. So basically, yeah, you have the Seven of Wands, you have the Nine of Swords. So essentially, it's one of those things where it's like, you may have been in a space in your life where you tried to protect yourself. Like you tried to do everything you possibly could to protect the things that you were doing, that you were growing, that you were building. And for whatever reason, life happened, and then it just kind of, it just crumbled. Like for some of you, you may have lost your sense of self. For some of you, it may have exacerbated whatever kind of fear you were facing or whatever kind of fear you had. But the thing is that Spirit is saying is that this plant medicine is going to help you see the real beyond all ego. It's going to really help you to see yourself. There's a part of you, a part of yourself that you have yet to face. But Spirit is saying is that you can actually do a lot more with compassion than you can do with force and anything else. And that is what I'm hearing. The Nine of Swords is coming up as this constant, it's this constant need. I'm seeing the Nine of Swords as a constant need to change, a constant need to listen to the voices. Like whatever your voices are telling you in your head, you're wanting to listen to it. It's not the fact that they're trying to scare you or haunt you, but what I'm hearing is that these voices are clues. And these voices, in a way, what I'm hearing is that they're manifesting in the form of people. They're manifesting in the form of things. They're manifesting in the form of habits. They're manifesting in the form of like, I'm hearing like some type of drug use and like of like vices. This is someone who these are people, you may see people that may be going through this, or you may have had thoughts of this. I do want to ask, first and foremost, Barry, can you please clarify the Two of Swords? I just heard like secret drug use, like secret drug use. Eight of Wands. Okay, can we get a little bit more clarity? The Tower. Oh man, that's been showing up a lot. The Tower card has been showing up a lot. So the fact that the Tower card is here along with the Eight of Wands, it's just this disruption of life that has happened. And it's something that no matter what you could have done, you were not going to prevent this. Like it's one of those things where you have to be easy on yourself, because no matter what, you wouldn't have been able to prevent what happened. The only thing that you could have done was, or that you can do now, is not only trust, but to work on yourself so much to where even when life does get shaky, and even when it does get tumultuous and things come crumbling down, you're able to build yourself back up again. The interesting thing is that you do have, again, you have the Magician card here and you have the Nine of Pentacles. Somebody who chose pile number one is on the verge of building themselves back up again. This is one of those things where you're wanting to use the magic of this whatever plant medicine. It could be, magic, mushrooms or whatever it may be, this type of like plant medicine, this holistic medicine that can help you connect better with your body, that can help you connect better with your energy. With this, for whatever reason, like I'm hearing like the word Taurus. So it's you connecting with your senses, you connecting with that sensual aspect, you connecting with that divine feminine energy, but you using whatever medicine that you, whatever lesson or whatever wisdom that you get from these plants, and apply it to your life so that you can build, you want to apply what you're receiving from the plants, the wisdom that you're receiving, and apply that to your life to help you build. And it's interesting that the Magician and the Nine of Pentacles came out first, because Spirit is saying, is like, I want you to focus on this positivity right now, because this is actually what's going to help you. It's not to not acknowledge your pain and your losses and the things that you've gone through. Yes, life is happening, and it actually happened very quickly, but it's one of those things where it really knocks you on your ass, is what I'm hearing. It knocks you on your ass, not as a punishment, but because there was something that was going on. It could have been behind the scenes, it could have been something with family, it could have been something with friends, where there was something that was that happened in your life, and you just kind of lost it. And your spirit team is not blaming you. No one is blaming you, and no one is judging you. And Spirit is actually giving you this message in a very loving and a very calm way, saying that we see the disappointments, we see the catastrophe. The word is catastrophe here. This Tower card is bringing me to something very catastrophic, and it happened so fast, and before you know it, it was just kind of like, damn, like I was just talking to this person last week and now they're gone. I was just talking to this person last week, or, I was just communing with them, and then life happened. And then next thing you know, it's like 2 years later, here I am asking, damn, what happened to so-and-so? But you're like not even realizing that so much time passed. And that's because life has just simply been happening and happening and happening to you. And you've been trying to find your way out of this place, this state of mind. And it almost kind of feels like Spirit is asking you for you to really tune in to the wisdom, again, the wisdom of these plants, because they're going to help you in the most unimaginable ways. Altar, I love that. It is altar, gratitude, releasing burdens. See, there was a lot of things that were going on in your life right now, and the fact that we do have altar, the altar is a space that you go to talk to the divine. The altar is a space that you go to do your workings. The altar is a space that you go to connect, to receive wisdom, to lay your burdens down, to be honest, to be vulnerable, to be transparent in the most sacred way and the most magical way. And that's exactly what you're being called to do when you go to this altar. And I feel like whatever it is, what I'm seeing like trinkets, like someone is like taking things like out of their pocket and they're putting it onto the desk. I actually am hearing something about charms. Let me grab my charms in just a second. Give me one moment. We have the sun here. Healing energy, happiness, comfort, and joy. This is actually what's going to help in your situation. And this is the reason why, because it's through this type of like plant medicine where you can find life again, where you can find joy again. But there's something that you must receive first. We have Aspen Spirit here, which is courage. I love this. You have Aspen Spirit, which is courage. And then you have Oyster. Oh my God. Oh my goodness. Stop it. We have Oyster here, which is regeneration. We have the Amanita here, which I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, but expanded awareness. That's exactly. It's this expanded awareness. Spirit is not wanting you to stay limited in suffering. In fact, the suffering is actually what's leading you to more awareness. And when you do things for more awareness, when you expand your mind, you see the root cause of the suffering, but in the most compassionate way, in a way that does not judge you, in a way that does not hold you back, in a way that is empowering. Because when you take this medicine, when you take whatever it is, you want to make sure, I keep hearing like the word psychosis, but you want to be careful. If you have any type of mental health issue, be careful. Make sure that you're doing this with people, if you decide to, that you're doing anything with people that you trust, that actually have your highest best in mind. I feel like there's something where Spirit is wanting to give you your encouragement. They're wanting to really give a gift to you, but they can only give it to you in the form of plant medicine. Now, the thing is that you also may want to take tea and tinctures, and they're wanting you to do holistic healing right now, because that is what That's what they're wanting you to absorb as much nutrients, but also they're wanting you to receive as much wisdom as possible. They're wanting you to do it through way of plants. You are not going to get this wisdom anywhere else. The same way you were born with wisdom, this is the same way that these plants were also born with their wisdom, because we all have a unique signature. We all have a unique frequency, right? So the same way you have your vibration, your frequency, the plants also have their vibration and their frequency, right? And even if the plant may look the same, they may vibe on the same wavelength, but they themselves are also unique. Their uniqueness, their individuality is a gift to you when you receive them, if that makes sense. Let me go ahead and grab my charms really quickly here, and I have to turn on my AC because it's getting pretty warm in here. So let me do that, and I'll be right back. Give me 1 second. I will do my best to try to take the noise out. I'm so sorry if you guys can hear that. I'm gonna do my best to. I know I've got a crazy situation going on right now, you guys. I'm so sorry. I know this is like so ghetto. Sorry. Anyway, so basically, yes, I have my charms here, and I'm gonna go ahead and get started with that because they want me to pull charms for you. I'm gonna get started, you guys. It's gonna get a little bit loud, so forgive me. I'm gonna get started right now, so go ahead and turn down your volume, and I'm gonna get started, okay? Or it might get loud. Okay. So first and foremost, you have what I'm seeing here. I don't know if you guys can hear me or not. So what I'm hearing right now is the fact that first and foremost, I'm hearing actually like, again, there's something about like the Amazon. I don't know why that's so specific for somebody. It's like the Amazon. Also, what I'm hearing is that there's something dealing with like the great mother. Give me 1 second. I gotta turn this off really quick. Yeah, because I don't want to miss this. I don't want you to miss this. This is the great mother. Like, this is the great mother coming to you now. She comes to you as a serpent. She comes to you as she's like the great awakener. She's coming to you in this way. She's been coming to you in the form of snakes. Like, she's been coming to you in this form because there's something about like the great awakening that you're going through, and this is what's going to give you your awakening. When you take this plant medicine, you're going to be sent into an awakening, and it's going to expand your awareness so much and so greatly to the point where you have no other choice but to be and embody the energy of this wisdom. And this is the wisdom that you are going to get from these plants. If you were to set your intention to take that trip, you will manifest it because it's a part of your journey. So what Spirit is saying is that also there's something about you utilizing this time to align with it, but to also allow this wisdom to be given as a gift to your family, because there's something about like the family structure that also needs tweaking, and this is going to be the gift to be given to your family. What I'm also seeing here is that there's something about you that is very royal. There's something about you where you start to really tap into this wisdom, that you yourself will reclaim some type of royalty or some type of right to a throne or something like that, like a chief or like a chiefess or a priestess or whatever it may be, a priest. I don't really know what it is. Like, it's insert title here. You'll be deemed as like some type of like title, but you really want to ensure that you are around people who you trust to go with you. There's something about you receiving some type of royalty or some type of crown or like throne. I don't know why it's like that. It could be symbolic for something, but someone here is royalty, and they're going to find that, or they're going to reclaim that once they do set forth and go into this medicine. So, or receive this medicine. And that is definitely what I'm hearing. Is there anything else, Spirit, that you have? I also see here that someone is going through a death period. You do have the hand here, the skull hand. And the skull hand is reminding me that we all have our time, and our time will come, but your time is not here yet. Some of you may have thought that you're surprised that you're still alive. Like, that's what I'm hearing. Someone is surprised that they are still alive. But Spirit is saying is that I want you to go into this having courage. You will not be hurt in the process, but start to prepare your body for this, whatever this awakening is. I'm getting a sense of nervousness, and it's like, what am I going to meet? What am I going to see when I do this? you're going to see exactly what you need to. But you want to make sure that you set your intention before doing so. What I do see here is awakening. What I do see here is expanded awareness. Because when you take these, or when you take things that are holistic, they do help to awaken your mind. They do help to awaken you. And you also do have here the moon here that's in reverse in this charm. This is you essentially not, this is you moving past the illusions. Like, this illusion is no more. Like, your eyes, you are going to be awakened, and it's going to help you tap into the courage, because someone carries something with them. It's the grief of something. They may grieve being seen a certain way by the world. They may be, unhappy because they feel like they want to feel beautiful, because they're attached to their identity, they're attached to their beauty or their aesthetic or whatever it may be. But I do feel like this is a moment in time where you're being asked to pause and take this medicine and administer this type of medicine. That way you yourself can be renewed, so that your body can feel whole again. This is a part of your path. You cannot avoid it. You've been knowing this for years, and now it is time for you to embrace that. Okay? It is time for you to receive the medicine that these plants have to give you. That is the message. That is what I have for you right now. That is what Spirit has for you. I hope that this message resonated. I am in the process of writing right now, so I've been slowing down on showing my face a lot. I'm just in the groove of just showing up to write. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for spending time with me here today. And I hope that this resonated. If you need anything from me, just make sure that you visit me at the Ethereum. I'm always happy to be with you, and I'm always happy to serve you. If there's nothing else that I can help you with, I love you. Leave me a message down in the comment section. Let me know how this reading helped you. I know it started off as a bit choppy, but I'm hoping that you got what you needed anyway. I love you so much. Take care, and I'll catch you in my next video. Thank you so much for coming back, you guys. So I have my AC on right now because the room in here, the office, is pretty hot. We have a situation going on with our AC, and I am in a space where I just gotta do what I gotta do, and the AC is going to be on in the background. I'm going to do my best to kind of turn it, to not turn it off, but I have it on the slowest setting. I'm going to do my best to get the background noise and like limit that noise as best as I can in the video. If I cannot, I am so sorry. I'm going to just do my best to do it anyway. I'm going to be talking loud just so that you guys can hear me, because I can't tell exactly, I can't tell. Anyway, so this is basically what we have for pile number 2. I took some notes, and we are going to look at that. So basically for pile number 2, we have here fly, meaning like an actual fly, like a bug, the fly. And then the way they see, multiple vision, confusion, relying on hearing, and fly symbolism. So there's something about the fly and the way that they see, and how flies can be seen as extremely inconvenient, but it's like not their fault. It's just how they're designed, right? And so there was something else that came through recently about, well, not recently, but something that came through recently today about how people don't like flies because they land on shit. But the thing is that we all land on shit in our own way. So that was pretty interesting that came through. And there was something about having compassion for these creatures, like having compassion for even the most inconvenient creatures of all time. Like, you know what I mean? And for whatever reason, it was also a matter of the way that they see. So if I'm not mistaken, I believe, or I think that flies kind of go more so based off of hearing, because their eyes are like a kaleidoscope. So they've got all of these different ways of seeing, all these different perceptions. But because of that, it makes it really inconvenient for them, because they have all of these different points of view of seeing, right? Like they're seeing from like every corner, but then it confuses them, because it's like, okay, well, where do I go? Like I'm flying and like I'm getting lost here. Like, where do I go? And I have to rely on my other senses, because my eyes, the way that I see, it's too much. And it's inconvenient for you to have to look through all of these lenses. So it could be like a matter of perception that someone is trying to get themselves through. It could be the way that they're seeing, or it could be the fact that there's too many points of view and you're trying to narrow down to just that one point of view. And it's inconvenient, because you're just like, okay, well, how am I supposed to do that when I don't even know where I'm going. Like, I don't even know what I'm doing. Like, how can I see? Like, how am I supposed to, you know what I mean? Like, how am I supposed to get through this if there's so many different perceptions? I don't know what to do, right? I'm going to go ahead and turn off the AC really quickly here. Because I just don't want this to be too loud. I'm going to have to sit through the heat. Give me 1 second, you guys. Let me turn this off. Yeah, that's really inconvenient. Because I feel like it's way too much noise in the background. And I don't know how much of that you caught. I hope that you caught enough of that. But anyway, so Spirit chose this Palo Santo for you. So again, it's this perception, or these many ways of viewing things, and like all of these different ways of seeing things that makes it a bit harder. It's like, okay, well, this is one perception, this is one view, this is another view, and this is their opinion, that's their opinion, this is their opinion. And I feel like someone is like clouded. It's like, well, which one do I choose? You don't have to choose any of those, to be quite honest, because it's not up to you to choose that. If anything, the more that you look at or tune into these different perceptions by these different people or through these different lenses, the further away you're going to be from your own journey, from your own manifestations, from your own blessings, from like your own thing, right? Do you know what I mean? I don't know why today I'm like not really doing well with my words. I'm not really sure what's going on today, but anyway, we're going to get through this anyway, and I'm still going to post it because we're having a human experience and everything is fine. So basically, yes, like that's just essentially what I'm getting. I'm going to go ahead and just kind of shuffle some more. I just heard something about like death and like decay. Okay, so they're not really wanting me to do too much. Okay, so this is speaking to me about someone's like it 100% could have been like a dynamic going on like with the family is what I'm hearing. And what I'm feeling and what I'm getting is the fact that something just had to go. And something wasn't right. Like something just was not right. You also have the Fool card here. It was so inconvenient. It was so inconvenient. Like it just felt like it was just so inconvenient, whatever it was. And it was a defeat. Like you felt defeated in this situation. What I'm hearing is that it wasn't anything that you planned. Like you didn't plan on this. In fact, what you planned on was to make this work. Like you planned on making something work out, but things did not go according to plan. If anything, they fell through. If anything, it was just a major disappointment. If anything, what I'm seeing is that Spirit is saying is that even though this did not go according to plan, understand that this was a negativity that you did not need in your life. Be okay with the fact that you were proud of having this thing. You were not wrong for being proud. You were not wrong for saying yes. You were not wrong for any of that. But if anything, you had a realization of some sort, and as inconvenient as it was, as hurtful as this thing was, you released a lot with that. And you let go a part of yourself by letting them go. You let go a part of yourself by letting that thing go. Because when that thing died, or when that thing left, or when that person left, or when that person, went on about their own life, whether that be through, a transition, or like a passing, or whether it be them leaving your life, it's like, okay, well, with you also went this about myself. I realized that when I was with you, that this was what I needed to work on. I am a mirror. I am exposing. I am allowing myself to just simply be. And I have to let this go because I don't want to be hurt by this anymore. And it's one of those things where like I just heard that you're finding something. Like it's really inconvenient. Like there's something there's something about the fly, like a fly. Like I don't know why I'm seeing like a fly. I'm hearing, of course, when you hear that, you think about like a fly on the wall. Like, I wish I was a fly on the wall that day. I wish I was there to see this happen. But at the same time, this fly, it's like there's something about like having compassion for this fly. Like, I wouldn't even want to hurt this fly. Like, why do people want to hurt this fly? Like, why do people see this as an inconvenience? Like, we're all just trying to live. Like, we're all just trying to get by. Like, I don't know why that's coming through it. That's a message for someone. When they left, so did everybody else's perception. Like, you're detaching from something. Like, I'm hearing that you are detaching from these different perspectives. You're detaching from these different lenses. You're taking off the glasses that held everybody else's eyes, and now you're tuning into yourself. And that's the best thing that could have happened to you out of the situation. It's not fair, right? It's not fair. And if anything, it messed up the family unit in a way. But that light that you've been exuding, this sunlight, this ray, or whatever it may be, was actually the protection that you needed. And now what I'm hearing is that it's one of those things where this constant like combating, or like this constant fighting and bickering, something happened. And I just heard that it was like the last explosion before the earth shook, or before the earthquake. It was like the explosion before the earthquake is what I'm hearing. And I'm also feeling like someone here is like, I am no longer allowing myself to surrender to this. Like, I'm no longer allowing myself to be a prisoner of this. I cannot do it anymore. What I'm seeing is that spirit is like, I really need you to go, and I'm really wanting you to move, and I'm really wanting you to trust the fact that this is where you can then start to regain your strength. And it's one of these things where you may not know this, but you're in the perfect place and at the perfect time where you can start to plan. You are in a space in your life where now that the distraction is gone, now that the distraction is no longer here to feed off of you and to command you and to keep you prisoner, you can now start to plan according to what the Great Mother has. And that's the best thing. They're wanting you to more than likely work with Palo Santo. There's something very obviously really holy about this wood. The spirit of Palo Santo was helping you. I don't know why I keep dropping it, but that's a message all in itself. I'm gonna put this down for a second, and I'm gonna leave it right here. I'm just gonna leave that exactly where it is. There's something about this. Okay, what I'm hearing is that they're wanting you to be left alone. Like, they're wanting you to be left alone. They don't want you to be touched. They don't want you to be touched by certain people, or like by certain hands. Okay, now I'm being given permission to pick it up again. So what they're saying is that they don't want you to be held or to be touched by certain people or certain hands. And so therefore everything else is going to be destroyed. Well, not everything else, but that thing or whatever this was, this relationship or this thing or this whatever it may be, that part is being destroyed. Palo Santo is not to be slept on. It has such amazing quality, like such amazing positive and uplifting vibrations, and it also simultaneously omits and repels negative energy. Whereas sage gets rid of all the energy and helps you to connect with your ancestors and whatnot, and with the wisdom of your ancestors. Palo Santo is one of those it's one of those woods that says, I'm going to repel this, but I'm also going to uplift the vibe. So at times, I would actually prefer to use Palo Santo over sage. It just depends on what I'm doing. So anyway, that's really the message that I have for right now. This Five of Swords is letting me know that it's a defeating thing right now, and it's so mental for you, it's so intellectual, and that's where the drainage is. It's so mental and intellectual, but there's something that is going on here in your life right now where spirit is saying is that I want you to rest. I want you to understand that this is one of those things where it had to be done. Like, you called out to someone, or you called out to a guide, or you called out to an ancestor, they heard you, and then they got rid of it. They got rid of the problem. It was that easy. It was just like that. They were waiting on you to give them the call. They were waiting on you to give them the okay to do this. And not even just the okay, but they were waiting on you. And it's one of those things where I just keep feeling that someone left, or something died off, or something just could not grow anymore, and you let it be. You just let it be. And this is where you regain your strength. Fog, obscurity, feeling lost. Someone definitely does feel lost here. I don't see the Five of Pentacles showing up in your cards, but we don't need to see that. Yeah, we just don't need to see that. So basically, what I feel is that with fog here, obscurity, feeling lost, this situation is so temporary, but at the same time, allow yourself to kind of drift off a little bit. What I'm hearing, and it's so interesting because this is connecting me to the Fool card, where it's like you kind of get lost. What I'm hearing is that someone, okay, I'm not calling you naive, but what I am saying is that someone may have felt naive, or someone went into this with high hopes saying, oh yes, this is going to work, this is going to work. But now you're in a space where you're just like, okay, I'm taking these glasses off. Like, I don't know why. Like, I'm taking these eyes off. I'm taking off these lenses. I'm taking off these contacts because there's a better way to see. I do not know why this is. I'm just going to trust that, you know, I'm just going to trust it. Like, I'm just going to trust that this defeat was necessary. I may have felt defeated, but this is really not even a defeat. Spirit is saying that this is your exit. And it's good because now you can not solve your problems, but like, well, yeah, solve your problems. But what Spirit is saying is that now you can live your life the way that you want to live without all of these different perceptions. Because once this person left, so did, again, parts of you that was just so hung up on or so attached to these different ideologies, if that makes sense. So now you have the cup of tea, patience, and reassessment. Okay. You have prosperity. I love that. Okay, and you also have, this is B Spirit, by the way. You have the common puffball, let go. And then you also have here the morale restored. This is definitely one of those things where you, again, it really does feel like all hope is lost right now. It may very well feel like it's just impossible to get through this right now because of everything that you built so far, or like everything that has happened so far. But it's one of those things where allow yourself to kind of get lost right now because you will eventually find your way again. The fog here and getting lost is sometimes is that we end up in these spaces that are so favorable. In this instance, it is leading you into something that is very favorable. It does not seem like it right now, but Spirit is saying is that if you were to completely let go of all of this, all of them, wash them off, you know, I don't know why I'm hearing like burn them off, but like wash them off and get them off of you, then you'll start to receive the prosperity. But you needed to see what the lack of prosperity looked like in their eyes before you can actually receive this thing. Now imagine if you would have kept them in your life. I don't know why this is bringing me to a relationship, but imagine if you would have kept them in your life, right? And then you started having all of these great things coming in for yourself. Well, that could have been short-lived if you had the wrong energy around you. So this is actually a good thing that it's leaving you, because now the prosperity can come in without it being tainted. That's the reason why they said that they don't want everyone's hands touching you, because they knew and they know that by people just simply touching you and brushing up on you, you are the sensitive, you're picking up on that stuff, and people are picking up on it whether they know, whether they think about it or not. But they're saying that there was a reason why this had to happen. They don't want them touching you. Like, their hands are tainted. They don't want that for you at all. Right? Like, they do not want that for you at all. Like, you can look at a person's fingernails and tell what they've been doing. I don't know why I'm hearing, like, you can look at their nails or their fingernails to tell, like, the dirt in their nails to, to tell what they've been doing. I don't have any dirt in my nails, so yeah, I don't have any dirt in my nails. At least I don't see any. I don't know why I'm saying that, but anyway. So yes, like, me myself, like, I'm good, I'm clear. So yeah, like, they just don't want certain people touching you. Like, they don't want certain people being around you because they know what that comes with. And so they're wanting you to cleanse that. They're wanting you to do a cleansing. For some of you, it's Olympia. I don't know why I'm hearing like Olympias, but you want to do a cleansing. Some of you, it's an egg cleansing. I don't know if you guys use eggs in your cleansing, or whatnot. But yes, that's essentially what I'm hearing. I also do hear Spirit saying that I don't want you to fight anymore. Like, this is not meant, you don't need to be fighting. Like, you don't need to be fighting using your words. You don't need to be fighting at all. I actually just heard my 3-year-old in the background. He gets real rowdy when he doesn't get his way. So you may be hearing that right now. But either way it goes, letting this go is actually what's going to help. Letting this go and letting this be exactly what it is going to help to restore you. You're moving on into your own space. You're moving on into your own way of doing things. And they do not want you to invite this energy back in. If they try to come back, Spirit is saying to say no. Because if you don't, then you're going to end up in the same situation again. You have to know and use your discernment not discernment this time, but you have to know that If you don't want them back, you do not have to have that. Allow them to be where they're at, okay? I hope that this message helped you. I know that my words have been a little bit choppy today. Thank you so much for being patient with me. I love you guys so much. If y'all need anything from me, please feel free to visit me online over at thesayonanpath.org. You guys can also follow along with me on Instagram over at the Saiyonan Path and also Magic of Eden. The Ethereum is open, but I am focusing on writing and things of that nature because writing, of course, does come first in my practice. At least that is what Spirit is saying now. That is one of the things that is coming first. Yes, anyways, I love you guys. Thank you for tuning in. And I will catch you in my next video. Alright, if you chose the Sage Bundle... Uh-oh, it's rolling away. If you chose the Sage Bundle, this is your reading. And let's go ahead and get started with this reading. How are you feeling and how are you doing? I just heard... Okay, they're wanting me to go ahead and put this card out. That's the Death card. Also for you, I just yes, let me actually go to my my notes. So I actually pulled notes here for the first, second, and third pile. For your pile, I heard see pile 1. I don't know if you guys could see that, but yes, it just says see pile 1. So you want to go back to pile number 1 and listen to that because there's something that you can definitely gain from that. Yeah, so this is one. Yeah, so exactly. That's so interesting because the 5 of Cups actually came through for pile number 1. So that is on point. That is on point. Yep. See pile 1. I see the Justice card is coming out here as well. You have the Queen of Cups. That is here. You have the Page of Wands. See, exactly. I think the Page of Wands was there in reverse for pile number 1. So this is you coming back around. I actually believe that this goes... let me zoom out a little bit. I feel like Death card goes here. And there we go. The lighting situation is a little bit weird, but... Okay. Oh, goodness. Okay. You have the Two of Pentacles here. The High Priestess, of course. And you also have here the Two of Cups. I'm going to pull these cards out. Yeah, the Two of Cups here. This is something about it being restored. I'm going to just pull these cards out, whatever they are. So basically what I'm seeing here is that the Death card is coming up as the final death. Like, I'm hearing the final death. This is the final death. And the High Priestess is coming up as an ordainment. So, wow, your pain and the things that you went through was a part of the ordaining. And it's what you went through that is... It's what you went through that is not your crown, because we don't want to glorify trauma. But what they're saying is that what you went through was the gateway. What you went through, that suffering, was the initiation, and now you're going to be crowned. You are being crowned, for those of you that chose pile number 3, you are being crowned. And there is no other way around it. They're saying that for those of you that have gone through this process, that listen to pile number 1, this is where you start to become restored. Because you have here you have... I'm not even going to focus on what cards you have. I'm just going to focus on the fact that this is just an ordainment. I feel like if you listen to pile number 1, we talked about ayahuasca in a way. I didn't even go into detail about ayahuasca, but anyway, which I'm not qualified to anyway, so I guess that's okay. So we talked about, expanded awareness. We mentioned ayahuasca. We mentioned, having certain things in order that allow you to engage in certain sacred practices without being, whatever. So anyway, yes, This really does feel like the continuation of what happened in pile number one. And what this is that this is where you start to make sense of everything that happened in your past. This is where you start to understand the reason for everything happening. This is where you start to understand intuitively in a divine feminine way why things played out the way that they played out and your calling amidst all of it. And it's one of those things where you do go through the final death and you do receive that wisdom, and then that's when everything does start to even itself out. I also do feel like you will learn, or you have learned, if you already did the the trip or whatever it may be, if you already went on the retreat that we mentioned in pile number one, that this is where you can start to see things aligning again. And this is where you start to really fall back in love with life again, regardless of how it looks, regardless of what has happened to you. And this is where you start to really utilize the wisdom that you receive from these plants that we mentioned in pile number one. And this is where you start to really see them show up for you in the best ways possible. I also do feel like this is you releasing yourself from I don't know why the word is like delusion or like illusion. I just heard like disenchantment, like you're no longer, I just heard like a crossfire. You're no longer caught in the crossfire of these different things that came up from the past. I also do see immense and powerful healing coming for this pile. And it really does make sense because I feel like a lot of it was emotional, a lot of it was mental, a lot of it was financial. You also have some type of wounds that you don't speak of, and I'm not going to speak of them here out of respect for you. I'm going to leave them where it is. You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm referencing. And it's one of those things where you really do want to ask yourself, am I ready for this? But not even just that, you want to ask yourself, why do I deny myself this? And the thing is that you yourself are royalty that we mentioned in pile number one. So if you have not listened to pile number one, you really want to go back and listen to it. I'm not just saying that for clickbait, or not clickbait, I'm sorry. I'm not saying that to increase my watch time. I'm saying that because there's something in that pile that you want to listen to. I would highly recommend that you stop what you're doing right now and go listen to pile number one and then come back. So there's something about everything that you have gone through, how everything will start to even itself out after this trip, or even before, even if you just sit and meditate and listen and tune into the energy of the plant without even ingesting or taking it. That in itself can be as equally powerful because you don't always have to ingest it. Not everybody is going to do the same thing, and it's okay that they're not. It's okay to just kind of do what you're going to do. But that plant medicine wants to be with you. It wants to grant its wisdom to you because it's going to help you in your life. It's going to help you with what you've got going on. It's going to increase your intuitive power. It's going to help you tap into your intuitive gifts and talents. There's some of you that have these untapped gifts, and Spirit is like, I really want you to tap more into that. So this is what I'm hearing, is that this is definitely the final death for someone. And I'm also hearing Spirit say not to go too deep into this reading because you need to go back and listen to pile number one is what I'm hearing. This is the continuation of that. What I'm hearing is that it's one of those things where you are not going to hold this by yourself anymore. You do have the Two of Pentacles here, but I don't see this as you actually holding on to too much. If anything, I see this as someone holding it with you. Like you have your hand, they have their hand, and it just kind of blends and merges together. This is a life reset. You're resetting your life right now. You may be in a space in your life right now where you're actually feeling the effects of what's been going on. This is where you start to truly see yourself. Some of you are truly seeing yourself right now, and that's the reason why you have the High Priestess and the Death card, because you are seeing yourself in the most unimaginable ways. And for some people, they may flinch at this, but you yourself does not flinch. You do not flinch because you have a very close relationship with death because of what you've been going through. This is the death doula. You may be a death doula. You may be a death worker, or like an energy worker who deals with death, who deals with, like, I don't know, things that are morbid, and that's a part of your calling. But you find so much beauty in that, and that's the power of you that you hold. And people may not understand it. You may be too deep for some people, but that's what makes you unique, and the world needs more of that. Spirit is saying to you now that it does not want you to limit or die down your power for the sake for the sake of monetization. Spirit is saying to be deep. If you want to, what Spirit is saying is that if you're looking to monetize, you want to do it in stages, or you want to do it in tiers. I don't know why that's coming through, but they're saying for you to do it in tiers. Have some tiers for people that don't want to go as deep, that you're satisfied with. Have something that can go, you know, be a little bit more intermediate, and then have more advanced and more depth and more rigor, right? Like, you have to do this in a way that allows all of your abilities to go through and all of your abilities to shine through. But you're tapping into this field, not of potential, but you're tapping into your own inner priestess, your own inner guide, your own inner priest, your own inner doula, your own inner energy worker. Like, that's, I can't get that out of my head. It's like your pain, your trauma, your suffering, everything was the activation, and you may not have understood it, but this is why you've been probably very reactive recently. You probably have been feeling very out of it. You may have been feeling so far away from yourself, but now this medicine, these plant medicines, they want to give to you in that way. The fact that Spirit did choose this sage bundle here is because this is a complete reset. But not only is it resetting your life, this is also helping you to connect with your ancestors. This is ancestral memory. This is memory being restored when you do allow yourself to tap into this medicine. If you were to tap into that medicine, I can almost guarantee you that everything that you could not understand logically will start to make sense. I'm not kidding. You really want to do this. May not even happen until years from now, right? Like, this may not happen immediately. This may happen years from now. And that's the beauty of it. But just know that things are being restored. This is restoration. This is definitely restoration. And this is you seeing past the illusion. Like, you're seeing past the illusion of your pain. You're seeing past, and I don't want to say that you didn't go through anything. No, because we all do. But even that in itself, like, this whole reality is just so wild. Like, it's just wild. Like, I feel like when you see past the illusion of the suffering or pain, that's when you can start to really get yourself back up again, and you can use this time, or once you do get back up again, you can find yourself pacing life again. You can fall back in love with life again. You can start on a new spiritual journey. This is a new spiritual journey after the awakening. It's where you have the awakening, but then you start to remember things. Now, Spirit is saying is that this is the reason why you are on a path of remembrance. We're all remembering something, but sometimes, right? And sometimes things like trauma, it pulls us away from our origin. Your pain, your trauma, this was you fracturing. This was the fracturing. But you're on a journey to wholeness, and you use these intuitive gifts and talents and whatever else you may have, right, in order to help you on this path of remembrance, because you're returning to wholeness. But this is the way that it's happening. Understand that when you made the decision to change your life, that is when things will start to stick. They are sticking now because you made that decision. Because you made that decision. And I feel like, again, this is you realigning and coming back together. This is restoration, but this is the pull of things coming back together. And that's what makes it so brilliant. That's what makes it so powerful. You do have here broom, energy clearing. Exactly. Energy clearing and freshening. Yo. Oh my God. The power of the broom. You see what I'm saying? Earth. It says peace and grounding. I'm loving that. I'm so glad that we chose these. Transformation. Yes. Transformation. Yes, yes, yes. And we do have here substance for the king oyster, and then we have enoki align. Listen, this is something that, oh my God. Okay. I don't want to go too fast, but I'm really excited. And the reason why I'm really excited for you is because this is how you know that Spirit is 100% speaking. This is energy clearing. This is you resetting. This is you resetting the energy. When you're using brooms and your workings and whatnot, and when you're using this in your ritual practice, you are sweeping away the energy so that you can cleanse. It's a form of cleansing. It is a form of energy clearing. right? You're freshening up the energy. And when you do that, you have to go in with the power of prayer. You go in with your floor washes. You go in to implement the things into it. But the reason why they're saying for you to use sage is because they want you to actually do the working itself. They don't want you to do this, I don't know why I'm hearing like the lazy way. They don't want you to do it the poor man's way. Oh my God. I don't know why that came through, but they don't want you to do this the lazy man's way. They want you to get into it. I'm hearing like the word grit. They're wanting you to get into it, like get into it. They want you to get into the energy, because this is you becoming the embodiment of what you are here to be. Especially because in pile number 1, you received the plant wisdom. That's why they said to go back to pile number 1. See pile number 1. Because everything comes back together. Everything comes around full circle. Because this is the calling. What I'm hearing Spirit say is that this is the calling. This is the calling. I'm hearing this is the calling. What is your calling? What are you called to do? Blend all of it. Merge all of it. I'm going to pull from this pile. This deck is calling me. For whatever reason. Okay. Hang on a second. Thank y'all for being patient. Okay. Okay, we have romance, we have anticipation, and then we also have new opportunities. That really does make sense. Okay, so what I'm hearing is that once you do start to clear these things out, this is where you start to receive whatever relationship you may have been looking for. It could be a better relationship with your current spouse or partner. This could be a brand new relationship. This is basically new opportunities. It's things, and this is the hare and the oak. It's so interesting because with the oak, this makes me feel like the smallest things create like the biggest outcomes. And it's so beautiful because I feel like this one opportunity can help you to ground, and then that's when everything starts to grow. Everything will grow in a matter of time, and this is something that will 100% outlive you. This is a part of your legacy. The fact that you do have here the finch and the peach, romance, this to me is sensuality. It says romance, but I feel the sensualness to this. I think we mentioned sensuality in the first pile, I can't remember, but this is definitely the sensual aspect of it. If you've been experiencing a blockage in your romantic life, if you've been experiencing a blockage in your roots or your sacral or your solar plexus, this is where the energy starts to clear. This is where things start to become a lot more clear. And then you have anticipation, the quail and the gooseberry. This anticipation is, to me, it's like someone like watching and like waiting, like when is it going to happen? When is it going to happen? It's going to happen when you are ordained. It's going to happen when you accept this title or this calling. You want to accept the title and the calling. That is what they're saying. You want to accept the title and the calling. And confidence is also here. That's interesting. The fact that you do have confidence here, the boar, it says the boar and the pumpkin. When you start to really have that confidence and you trust in your magic and you trust in what you're doing, that's when you'll start to be able to harvest harvest the abundance, right? Because I believe we had prosperity in the first pile. I can't fully remember. But you have to have that confidence. It's going to help you with your confidence in whatever field you're in, by the way. Yup. You also do have here the squirrel and the chestnut preparation. They're wanting you to prepare your body for this medicine. They're wanting you to prepare yourself. Like they're wanting you to prepare your body to receive this wisdom, because it can be 100% overwhelming. And you don't want to overwhelm your body or confuse it or send it into survival mode. Last thing here, we have hope. Love that. The butterfly and the snowdrop. I love this. This is hope. This is hope restored. This is you. This is Spirit's way of saying, oh my God, butterfly. The butterfly may be something that is maybe coming through for you a lot recently. And I love this for you because we have transformation here, butterfly spirit, and you have the butterfly and the snowdrop. This to me lets me know that someone here is going through something deeply transformative, especially because we do have the death card here. Even though it may not seem as something that may be favorable, even though it may not seem as that, I do feel like you have a lot of things to look forward to once you are accepting of whatever this title is. Does that make sense? You also do have here alignment. Alignment is somewhere here. You do have the High Priestess that is here. You have the Oyster Mushroom, which is 11. You have 2 here. Right, okay, so you have 2 here. And then you also have 11 on the Oyster Mushroom. You do have, let's see, what else do we have here? Okay, no, that's OT. You have the 2 of Cups. So there's something about connection. Like deep connection, deep spiritual connection. The 2 of Pentacles here. You've got a lot of 2s. You recently just saw 222. Yeah, you recently saw 222. And if you saw 222, I want you to go back to whatever you were watching at that time. Go back to whatever you were reading. Go back to the moment in time that you've seen it. And I want you to continue listening to it. There's a nugget there that's going to help you along your journey at this time. I love you so much. Thank you so much for tuning in, you guys. I really hope that this helped. I know that this is ending abruptly, but I am being called to just simply allow you to sit in that. I'm going to go. I love you guys with all of me. I love everything about you. I love all of your quirks and everything like that. And anyways, yes, if y'all need anything from me, please feel free to visit. Oh my God, the Magician is here again. I'm sorry. Wow, the Magician, you guys. See, y'all are getting repeated cards. You see what I'm saying? Exactly. Exactly. Watch, when you accept this title and you clear the blockages and you clear this stuff out, watch how everything starts to manifest for you. I'm so excited for you. Do not give up hope. And it's not even about giving up hope or things like that. It's actually about you knowing that no matter what, something big and something amazing is coming. Mark my words. I love you guys. If y'all need anything from me, please feel free to visit me online over at thesayonanpath.org. You guys can also follow along with me on Instagram over at thesayonanpath, as well as Magic of Eden. I will make sure to have everything linked down below in the description box. I love you guys. Leave me a lovely note down in the comment section because I love receiving love notes in the comment section. And yes, I love you guys, and I'll catch you in my next video.